They have some pretty wild conversations over on GB News, but this incredibly racist defense of the British Empire is definitely up there.
We now have a generation that believes everything we did by colonizing. Yes, it is true. They think everything about colonization was wrong. It wasn't. There were some terrible things and there were some good things to come out of it. And that is about properly acknowledging your past.
Education.
Yes, completely.
Sanitation.
Transportation.
Yeah. There was so much that we brought to communities. But
you're typical of what we're talking about.
No, I'm saying that colonisation, the empire was wrong. It was wrong, full stop. That's, the things that Britain might have done.
But that's very much through your modern sensibilities, you might say that, because we wouldn't now routinely go into other countries.
It was a profoundly racist set of basically invasions of other people, where we subjugated people to our rule and sort of made them work for us. It was completely
made their countries work.
Could imagine yourself in the shoes of a 13-year-old boy hearing you say that.
Now, so much to comment on. I've got one more part of that conversation. So there's only one bit I want to sort of bring out here, which is the idea of doing history by how you can make a 13-year-old boy feel good about their country. Can you imagine sort of like you've had this bit, there's a big debate about the Holocaust, right? And someone says, well, it was really bad. They killed 6 million Jews. They were going to kill it. It was like, they're like, well, how's that going to make a 13-year-old German boy feel? Surely you've got to say there were good things about the Holocaust as well as bad things, but otherwise you might make sort of all of these kids not have a strong sense of themselves. That's not an argument, right? It's not remotely a valid argument. As I say, lots more to comment on there, but I want to go to the rest of the clip first.
How do they then carry that through life?
Well,
in terms of who I am as a Brit.
But it's not about...
We had racist ancestors.
Say it,
but Bev...
But I'm saying that we hear much more of that than we do about the benefits of that period of time.
Well, because I don't think there were benefits. I think that we have to be completely...
Of course there were.
So benefits to us.
I don't think there were.
There were benefits to us.
A lot of those countries did not... Jonathan, those countries...
It absolutely does.
Those countries did not have money. They did not have the creativity. They did not have people in positions of power to do this. No, they didn't.
Those countries did not have money or creativity. We should have got William Dalrymple on for this, shouldn't we? Aaron, I know you've done some good videos about sort of the British in India. Let's focus on India for now. Did they not have money or creativity in India before the Brits arrived?
Well, Mughal India, Michael, when the Brits arrived, was approximately 20 to 25% of global GDP. When Britain leaves India just after the Second World War, its economy, as in modern day India, not the whole of the Indian Raj, which included Pakistan, Burma, etc. Just India was about 2% of global GDP. So you've gone from 25% of global GDP to 2% of global GDP in about 200 years. So the idea that the British Empire made India rich, self-evidently nonsensical. Yes, railways were built. That was to move resources around the country for Britain to make money and get rich. And actually, shipbuilding in India at the start of the 18th century was among the best in the world. It's nonsensical culture as well, obviously. We don't need to go there. But just complete idiocy. I'm very happy to be exposed to opinions I disagree with if the person's actually thought about them and read them. And they do exist, right? Doesn't include these people. Just utter idiocy masquerading as intelligence. I mean, India and China for 18 of the last 20 centuries have been the two world's biggest economies. Not surprisingly, they have massive populations. But like I say, when we left India just after the Second World War, they were 2% of global GDP. That's before we talk about things like the Bengal famine, etc. There's not been a single famine in India since the end of empire. There were multiple famines in India during the 19th century because we were trying to integrate them into a broader global economy, right? Very well examined in a fantastic book called Late Victorian Holocausts by Mike Davis. Really recommend it. But yeah, that's what we should be talking about. Doesn't mean people should feel guilty about that today. And Britain did do some really good things in history. Kids shouldn't feel guilty about being British. But I find it bizarre, Michael, actually, that a country which gave the world Isaac Newton, discerns the laws of gravity, Charles Darwin works out evolutionary adaptation, Jenner comes up with vaccines, Maxwell, Faraday, Charles Bessemer innovates modern steel manufacture. I mean, the list goes on. My goodness, Michael. Watt and Bolton, the steam engine, basically kickstart the Industrial Revolution. Talk about these people. Why are you so obsessed about talking about people killing each other? I don't get it. I don't want anybody to feel ashamed about stuff that happened 250 years ago. Why should you? You're not responsible for it. But if you want people, young people in particular, to feel happy and proud about their country, totally get it. Tell them about the good stuff. It's a great place to start. Here's the sad thing, Michael. Most of the people saying that we gave India all those things, they don't even know the people I'm talking about. They don't know who Faraday is. They don't know who Maxwell is. They don't know who, maybe Brunel, the godfather of modern industrial engineering, maybe Brunel. They don't know who Jenner is. Comes up with the first, effectively, inoculation with cowpox. They don't know who these people are. And they don't know who these people are because as a country, we've not taken industry and making things seriously for 40, 50 years. These things were really core to British identity for a very long time. They haven't been because we don't make anything. Look outside. It's estate agents and nail bars. We need to go back to that. So yes, young people should feel very proud of where they come from for the right reasons, not for killing people. Really stupid. And finally, Michael, there were critics of British Empire in the 19th century. People like Richard Cobden, John Bright. They were Liberal MPs. They weren't even left-wing. They said, look, we believe in free trade. We think we make more money via free trade rather than colonizing countries. That loses us money. That was a debate within British civil society. Oh, well, they didn't know it's all culturally relative. No, there were people literally in the Economist magazine and the Times of London, Liberal MPs, saying, actually, this is not in our self-interest. We should stop doing it. But again, we're not having that level of debate in this country because of the media. The media doesn't want an informed debate. It doesn't want an informed citizenry. It wants polarization and stupidity.